Yo, what's up guys, it's Shitty here, and today we're here with week 3 of Season 4 of the IBL, the International Battling League, and today we are facing off against Brendan Dark Devil 26 and his Marlboro Mudsdales. I hope I said that right. He's got a pretty scary team. He brought some threats I expected, some threats he didn't decide to bring, which I thought was pretty interesting. But yeah, let's just get right into the team. We have a Zap Plate Rotom with, let me try to think. I think a Thunderbolt, Shadow Ball, Willow, Defong. I had a Defensive Shaman to deal with that Zygarde 50. I had a Spadef Rotom to deal with Mega Gardevoir, which he did not end up bringing. I brought Life Orb Swallow because Special Swallow could do a lot to his team. However, I didn't want to be locked into like Heat Wave because then that just kind of baits in. Like if I was locked into Boom Burst, that baited in the Registeel. If I was locked into Heat Wave, I was baited into or he could just switch into the Vaporeon. So it was really problematic. Tyrantrum with Dragon Dance, because once I get up on Dragon Dance, not many things can really switch into me. And lastly, Physically Defensive Calm Mind Clefable. So that's the team we decided to bring. He decided to bring Registeel, Cryogonal, Passimian, what is that thing called? Vaporeon, Zygarde 50%, and his Electron Dust. Most of the thing I expected on his team. Passimian, I'm not gonna lie, was kind of like on the fence. It was either that, I felt, or the Mega Gardevoir. He decided to bring Passimian. I felt like Mega Gardevoir was honestly a better bring, but that's fine with me. I decided to lead off with Rotom, I believe, because I expected him to lead off with the Registeel, I believe. No, I know why. I know exactly why. I thought I had Volt Switch on the set, which I didn't end up having Volt Switch. So I was like, yeah, I can Volt Switch on anything. And actually, I think honestly, turn one I was just gonna click a Willow, just because I would expect the Zygarde to come in on the Electric type move. So that's why I decided to lead off with Rotom. We're gonna hop right into the battle here. Like I said, I decided to lead off with Rotom because I felt as though I could just Volt Switch on anything or Willow. But yeah, there's gonna be a little cut there because something happened. But like I said, he decided to actually lead off with the Registeel there. And here I tried to predict the Zygarde, but unfortunately he does not go into Zygarde. I got so happy when I saw he switched, but instead he just decided to lead off or go into Passimian here. So yeah, here's gonna click knockoff though. And I really wasn't sure what this thing wanted to do. I honestly didn't think it was Scarf, and I thought I'd be able to get a big Thunderbolt off. But he actually does end up being Scarfed here. So I'm just going to get off a big Thunderbolt. I didn't really know what this Passimian wanted to do. But yeah, I'm just going to keep firing off Thunderbolts. I know I can live another knockoff, and I really didn't have anything I wanted to switch into this thing. Except here, I decided to go for the Hidden Power Ice in case he wanted to go into Zygarde. Because I thought Hidden Power Ice would plus Burn kill, but it did not kill. He lives on a sliver of health. And here I decided to swap out because I did not want to lose my Rotom, because I could still switch into Rocks if he set him up, and I could defog him away. So I decided to go into my Clefable here because I'd be able to eat the knockoff, obviously, and obviously lose my leftover is kind of unfortunate, but I decided to do that. But yeah, I'm down to go to the Passimian. He's just gonna go into his Registeel here, and I'm gonna swap out because I cannot really beat this thing toe to toe. I decided to go into my Shaman here. My Rotom was my switch in for this typically, but obviously it's very, very weakened, so I can't really do that anymore. But yeah, I'm just going to Shaman here. He's going to swap after set up his rocks. I'm just going to go for the Earth Power just to get some damage off. If I had brought HP Fire, that might have been better, but unfortunately it isn't. I am going to swap out here into my Bronzong, knowing that I can take any hit from this thing. The only thing he could do is HP Fire, and because I'm heat proof, I'm going to eat that like nothing. But he is going to make a great prediction on that, and he's going to go into his Zygarde here. So good play on Brennan's part, honestly. Like, that was an amazing play. But yeah, I'm here. I do not want this thing to set up a sub for free in case he is like a sub coil set or even just a sub D-Dance set. He is going to reveal the D-Dance here, and I'm just going to click HP Ice here. I do not want this thing to get a free sub, and we're going to do just under half, which is about the roll I expected. So he's basically max HP, or not max HP, max attack, max speed. Like there's obviously probably a little bit of speed, probably to speed creep my Rotom here. But here I'm just going to go into Rotom and sack it off because I do not really need it at this point, even though getting rid of rocks would be very useful. I really need a Queen Switch into my Shaman here. Because depending on his set, he may be able just to kill me with like 1,000 arrows with Dragon Claw. So, or Outrage if he decides to lock himself into that, which I think this thing doesn't even get Dragon Claw, so yeah, he would have to lock himself into Outrage. But he's going to be scared of that, so I'm just going to go for HP Ice here. Just, I didn't want to overpredict or anything. I really just needed to get damage off on this thing. And luckily for me, I gen this thing wrong. This thing doesn't actually have HP Ice. It actually has HP, I expect it to be Dragon, because I misgened it. And so this thing actually didn't have the right hidden power. Luckily, Brendan doesn't know that. He didn't realize it based off the fact that the HPI, or the hidden power, wasn't like, it was neutral rather than not very effective against this Cryogonal. So lucky he didn't notice that. But here I'm just going to go straight into my Bronzong because I do not want to catch an Ice Beam, or in this case a Freeze Dry. And now I can just fire off. I believe I go for my Stealth Rock just to get up hazards. Or just clicking Freeze Dry. I don't know why I decided to set up rocks against this thing. Probably just because I didn't think he'd stay in, if I'm being honest. But I'm going to set up my rocks here. But he's just going to be able to click Rapid Spin at this point, just to get rid of my rocks. So really just, I took unnecessary chip at this point. I'm just going to click Gyro Ball, and this Cryogonal is not going to take a Gyro Ball for this. A no speed Bronzong versus a very, very fast Cryogonal who has defenses like nothing. Yeah, this thing is not taking a Gyro Ball. But anyways, he's going to go straight back into his Zygarde here. And I believe here I decided to go hard Shaman this time because I think I go hard Shaman, do I? I don't really know what I do here. I believe I go hard Shaman. Or do I just fire off the HPIC? I just go for the HPIC here just because, once again, I do not want this thing to set up a sub or anything. I'm just scared of sub Zygarde because that could really do a number to my team. So I am just going to stay in here and HPIs. This time I just decided to stay in and set up my rocks because I knew I could get him up against this thing, and his Defogger is gone. And so at this point I just decide to set up my rocks, like I said, as he actually Thunder Waves me, which is Thunder Wave Registeel is going to prove to be much more of a threat than I thought, because this thing is, I assume he has a good amount of speed in this thing, just in the fact that he's going to Thunder Wave my Shaman here, which I also, another good play on Brendan for predicting me to swap and go for a double Thunder Wave. So good on him. But as you can see here, this thing is actually going to outspeed me, and I know that I have no speed in the Shaman, but still I shouldn't be outsped by Registeel even if I am paralyzed. This thing definitely has a good amount of speed to outspeed me even if I'm paralyzed, I think. I haven't actually checked the speed, but I feel like this thing has to have a good amount of speed. Here I'm just going to click Earth Power just to get some damage off, and we're going to see that this thing is pretty especially defensive. He definitely has some physically defensive bulk. He's not completely spit F just because his spread, or he would be taking less if he was completely especially defensive, but he'd be taking more if he was physically defensive. So this thing's more of a mixed wall. This thing is just going to be an annoying cell. Like, this thing only has like a 50% chance. It's around 50% for me to get either paralyzed or flinch. So it's basically a 50-50 as to whether I'm able to get Earth Power off on this thing or not. And this thing's going to reveal his leftovers and stuff. And as you're going to see here, this thing is just going to be very, very annoying when it comes to me just getting Iron Head flinched. Like, I don't understand how this thing is able to get so many pair flinches in a row, considering that's only a 50% chance. So it's really, really annoying that it's able to do this to me. But at this point, I really just need to stay in and hope that I get Synthesis off, because this thing really, I really need Shaman healthy in order to 1v1 that Zygarde. Because otherwise, I really don't have much for after it sets up a D-Dance. Therefore, we're just going to stay in here. We're just going to keep hoping that we can get the Synthesis off. He's just going to keep trying to go for the Iron Head flinches, which honestly, screw you, Brennan, for doing this, man. Like, literally, I've been Paraflinched 4 turns in a row now, which is really, really, really annoying. And at this point, this thing has even managed to get the full health from his leftovers alone, which is really, really, really dumb. So, yeah. I'm just staying in here. I'm hoping to get the Synthesis off, and I am able to get the Synthesis off, luckily. And at this point, I think I just click Synthesis again after this turn, or at least I'm trying to, just because I feel rocks. If he gets up a D-Dance, like, I can't I can't risk him being able to kill me with like 1,000 arrows after rocks if he's like +1, or even somehow I get him up to +2. So I cannot risk this. He's gonna click Ironhead again, and I'm able to luckily get off another synthesis, which like that's still not even like lucky in the fact that I've been paralyzed or flinched like what, 5 times now, and I've only gotten off an attack twice. Maybe more like a ratio of 3 to 6, which is definitely not in my favor. And as you see, he's just gonna flinch me again. At this point, I'm just trying to. I just want 2 earth powers off of this thing. That's all I need. So that I can go into my Tyrantrum and just switch in on the Ironhead, and then just EQ that thing. That's really what my goal is at this point. Just to get off 2, maybe 3 if I'm lucky, just depending on the position I'm in. Earth powers on this thing, so that I'm just able to take, or just go for a big EQ on the thing. So that's really what I'm trying to get to, that position. But he is actually tired of this. He's done with this whole thing. So he's actually going to swap into his with this thing, this Vaporeon here, which is pretty risky because I have not revealed my 4th mood, which is toxic. I don't have Seed Flare in this thing, but I have not revealed Seed Flare. So this thing could just catch a big Seed Flare to the face if he isn't careful. But fortunate for me, he is. I'm actually going to swap into my Tyrantrum here because I predict. I am predicting a toxic, and if that's the case, I have my Lumberry. But he actually is going to be carrying the Ice Beam, which is really unfortunate for me because this thing's going to be doing a lot of damage to me. Luckily, I am able to hang on, so this is going to be good. And because of the rocks damage that it's taken, I'm just going to be able to quick Head Smash here. And because of his spread, I am just going to be able to Oka this thing with the Head Smash, which is really, really good for me. That this Vaporeon down. It's honestly really good for me that it went down, because now he's sitting in his Registeel here, and I'm just able to quick EQ on this thing, and he is not able to do much. He could send out the Zygarde, because if you send out the Zygarde, then he would be forced. He can't Dragon Dance up on me, in which case I can go Swellow. And Swellow boom bursting his team is really, really good at this point. So yeah, at this point, I'm able to get a big EQ off, and I'm just able to go into the Pole Shelf here, my Clefable. I'm just going to go for, I believe, the Flamethrower, just because I knew I could live an Ironhead, and honestly Clefable wasn't too important at this point. And another good thing about Clefable was that I was able to, like, he wouldn't be able to just, if I were to pick him out with like anything else, like basically by going into the Pole Shelf here, I am just able to like not allow him to go into Zygarde and just set up on my face, because he is still fearing that Moonblast, and he can't really go into that what is that thing called, the Lycanroc, because he can't really set up on me in case I am unaware, because he didn't know whether I'm unaware or Magic Guard yet. So definitely something good on me. But here I'm just gonna go into Shaman because I do not want to get Parafin just yet I don't want my thing to go down, my Clefable, just yet. So I am just gonna let myself go down, or I am gonna swap into my Shaman here, and luckily I don't get Paraflinched, so I am just able to get the Earth Power off on this thing, which is really, really good for me. I'm just gonna get some leftover recovery, and now he is gonna go into his Zygarde, I believe. And at this point, if all I have to do is just make sure if I don't get paralyzed here and I'm able to get a big HP ice off of this thing, then I'm in a really, really great position, because then I'm able to take probably another hit as well. Like I'm able to take a Stone Edge from the Lycanroc after leftovers at this point. So I would have been able to take both a Stone Edge and an Outrage, and I probably would have chipped it down with Earth Power, and then Clefable could have came in and Moonblasted, and I would have won the game. However, I am going to get paralyzed. Freaking Brendan getting freaking lucky, dude. And now I don't know if I can win at this point. I'm going to go into my thing here because I know I outspeed everything on his team. And so I'm just going to fire off the Boom Burst here. I could have gone Fable, but I just decided Swallow would probably be a little bit better, just so, I don't know, I felt like going into Swallow, I feel, rather than going into my Clefable. Even though he was off an Outrage, so I definitely could have gone into Clefable, but I decided to go into Kamikaze my Swallow. I Boom Burst and kill the Zygarde. I'm going to Boom Burst this thing too, just to get some chip off on this thing. and I'm gonna take life orb recoil, and he's gonna go for SD, which is really bad. This is where the pair actually ends up coming into hand, because now this thing is just gonna be able to go for Cell Rock here and take off my Kamikaze, and now I'm just in a really bad position. I'm going to pull a shelf here. At this point, he doesn't know if I'm unaware, he doesn't know what's going on. At this point, it's a 50-50. Does he predict my switch into Bronzong or not? And luckily for me, he actually does end up going for the Lacanium Z. If he had gone for the Crunch there, which after the game he told me that he had Crunch as his last move, if he had gone for the Crunch there, then that would have been really bad for me, because I wouldn't have been able to live a +2 Lacanium Z Stone Edge. So he probably would have won the game if he had made the right prediction. But at the same time, he also would have lost if I had not gone paralyzed, probably. So see it as you do. I don't think he could have won it if I didn't get paralyzed there. So luckily for us, he does not make the prediction. So I am just going to be able to go into my Clefable here, and I'm going to avoid the Stone Edge. I'm not going to get paralyzed. So I didn't get paralyzed. If I got paralyzed, that could have been terrible. Luckily for me, also, he didn't have the Iron Head, because if he had Iron Head, that also just straight up killed me. So I'm so happy that I was able to avoid, even though I did live. I only did like 70% with the Stone Edge, so he would have gotten a crit. And if he had gotten the crit, Brendan, I would have killed you. But anyways, GG to Brendan. Make sure to check him out. He's the commissioner. Of course, make sure to check him out. Make sure to check out all the coaches, everything in the description below. We are now 2-1 plus. Let me think. We are +3, I believe. I think we're 2-1 +3. So that's definitely great for us. So next week we face Turk, my Turkey sub, and his. I think it's the Chicago Cub Shoes. I may be wrong about that. It's definitely the Cub Shoes though, so I'm pretty excited for that. I will be back next week, of course, with that match. Make sure to like if you did enjoy it. Make sure to subscribe for more content on the channel. But anyways, I want to thank you guys so much for watching. This has been Shady. I'm out.